when was your first recollection of you? It's no more a thought. Like, you now know at what age that your dad is who your dad is.
When I was 11 years old.
Okay, talk to me.
When I was 11 years old, my mom was getting us ready for school one morning. And this is crazy. This is how you know, like, how my brain worked as a child. Because, you know, you hear things or whatever, but, you know, as a kid, you hear stuff, but you really not comprehending or processing what it is. Right. You get what I'm saying? So my mom in the kitchen, she making us breakfast. She getting me and my sister ready for school. My oldest sister, Choo-Choo. So next thing you know, I hear a boom, boom, like real loud. It's like 6, and it's still dark outside. It's like 6 in the morning. Boom, 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 boom at the door. In my mind, I'm thinking somebody trying to come in and bring harm to us. Like somebody trying to come in and do something to my family. So I'm like, oh shit. The first thing my mama did when she heard them knocking at the door, she must have knew what time it was. She ran up the stairs. Woo, she run up the stairs, I guess to go wake up my daddy or do whatever it was that she was doing up there. And when they came in, the police, the DEA came in with the guns drawn, like, get on the ground. All these big guns. They put me and my sister in the corner in the kitchen. My mama had went upstairs, so when she was trying to come back, they caught her coming down the stairs, threw her down, threw her in the kitchen. It was like a real traumatic experience at that age. And then when they finally, I heard tussling and stuff upstairs. You can hear it like upstairs. I heard tussling and stuff. And then next thing you know, I see him bringing my daddy down in handcuffs. You know, and in my mind, I'm like, damn, like, why they taking my daddy? Like, he don't do nothing wrong. You know, I was more so had a mere concern for my father. I really ain't care about nothing else. But after that situation, you know, come to find out he was indicted on some drug charges. And later on down the line, he did some time in federal prison. So as a child in middle school, part of our life was going back and forth to see my daddy in prison. He was in prison in Pennsylvania. So on the weekends, my mom would drive 8 hours with us and we'll stay for the weekend and we'll come back. And that kind of was the story of our life for a few years until he came home.
How long was he indicted for?
I think my daddy, you said how long was he in prison for?
No, just during that time, like when you were like a preteen. Like 11 to 12, I think. Yeah,
my dad, he only stayed, they let him get a bond. He might have stayed out not even a year, and then he did self-surrender. They let him turn himself in. And he was gone for maybe like 3 years, 4 years or something like that. But it's like, now that I think about it, it's like, damn, so I was going back and forth to prison as a child too. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't look at it as a bad thing, because a lot of my friends who I grew up with, they daddies was drug dealers too. And either they daddy might have got killed or something, or they daddy was in prison. So for me, that was my norm amongst the people in my circle of friends, because growing up, we hanging out with my mom and dad friends' kids, and all of them did the same thing.
Right.
And then it was never no disruption in our life. We still stayed in the same house. We still had money. We still did the traveling. Like, even though my daddy was gone, our life continued to be the same. It ain't like my daddy went to jail and we fell off and we had to go live in the hood or something like that. Our life was the same as if he was still there.
Man, one thing that I admire about you telling me, and I think it's important, but it's really a double standards with just where we are as a society, right? Versus, you know, what it used to be like. Your parents, how old was your dad when he first met your mom?
And I get people talking about this too, and it's crazy because like when I speak about the age gap, people like, your daddy was the child molester, but it wasn't like that. Like when my dad met my mom, she was 16 and he was 31. And when she had my sister, which is the oldest, my mom was 18 and my daddy was 33.
But I'll say this though, so let's put this in perspective, right? You can't judgment or have any type of judgment with this, because that's what it used to be. Like when my grandfather married my grandmother, she was, I think, 20 years old and he was close to like 36.
Exactly.
When you think about public figures, Elvis, Priscilla, like he was 24, she was 14. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just a thing
back then.
You know what I'm saying? That they did, you know what I mean? But you do it now and it's looked down upon, you feel me? And me having daughters, obviously if somebody came to my door talking about, hey, I want to take Shakira
Hell no,
out.
you gonna be looking like, nah, we ain't doing that.
No, we not. But just it's a beauty in me not knowing him, but hearing you kind of talk to him about like how he raised y'all, like put y'all on game, showed y'all different things about how to move, how not to move. You know, it was funny where you was like, my dad bought me my first Rolex. So if my boyfriend at the time wasn't matching that type of energy, I didn't necessarily need him for that. You know what I mean?
And it was like that. And he always used to tell us that, like, if you can't no man do what I do for you, don't mess with him. You know, and it even got to a point when I got with my son's father, and I met him when I was 19. So I was down here at college. I moved to Atlanta in 2000. I went to Morris Brown or whatever before they lost their accreditation. And after that, I went to mortuary school in Decatur. I went to a mortuary school because my daddy was like, I don't care what you do. If I'm going to take care of you, you better take your ass to school. So I'm like, I'm about to go to school somewhere. But even with my son's father, like when we used to beef, I used to be like, I don't care. I said, because my daddy going to pay it anyway. If you don't, my daddy going to pay it. So he used to be like, what the like, he used to be mad because I was like, I don't care. Like, you don't have to do it because I can call my dad. So it's like my daddy always had our back. And it's like, I know if I ain't had nobody in the world, I always can rely and depend on him.
Right.
And that was kind of a gift and a curse. Because let's just be real. Like, my daddy set a standard all the way up here.
But that's how a man supposed. Now
It's good.
It's a little toxic.
Yeah,
that standard
it
was
is.
toxic.
It was
and
toxic.
you being a woman now and understanding like, okay, but for me and my children, and when I look at my female family members, it's like, bro, if your dad provides what he provides to you, the person that you bring into your life that you take serious has to meet that or exceed that.
That standard.
Like real.
But why I say it's a gift and a curse is because, all right, I'm grown now, right? So what type of man I'm looking for? My daddy had me a whole kit, Rolex, big diamond stud earring, necklace, bracelet, like bags. Like if you would have seen me as a teenager, you would have thought I was a dope dude's girl. But my daddy did that. I had a Denali when the new Denalis came out, big boy trucks. Like he kept us like that. So, like I said, the reason why it was a curse is because even when regular guys try to talk to me, I'm looking like, no.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm riding this. You over there like, nah, if I'm riding this, I'm gonna ride with you if I'm driving better than you. So the type of men that I was attracted to was dudes that emulated my father.
Right.
So what kind of dudes were I attracted to? Dope boys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my dad, and one thing I gotta say about my daddy did all of that so I wouldn't go down that road. But me being Brandi, he always used to tell me, you was supposed to be the son I ain't never had. Like he tell his friends, like, this my daughter, but this my son. This was supposed to be the boy, but this my daughter, because out of me and my sisters, I was always the one that wasn't fear or scared of nothing. You know, like he bought us cars. And in Detroit, it's a street called 8 Mile. 8 Mile go across. So this side would be the suburbs, the other side is you in Detroit. So when he bought us all cars, he's like, I don't care what y'all do, y'all better not cross 8 Mile. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm on 7 Mile in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just love, I don't know. And everybody be like, why would you do all that when you was giving everything, you had a silver spoon in your mouth? But that lifestyle was just attractive to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you knew.
That's all I knew. And going to the hood, like if I go to my cousin's house in the hood, I used to like, who would be like, why do you want to leave this big house? You got a pool in the backyard. And I'll go over my cousin's house in the hood and want to go sit on a block. I got enjoyment out of that. I don't know why, maybe because it was something different from what I was raised in, but I always was attracted to the streets.